share some of the experiences and the struggle of Trikal workers. There are some similarities between Maruti workers' struggle and Trikal workers' struggle. Trikal is a automobile component manufacturer. They have got units in Pune, Gurgaon, Uttarakhand and Indonesia. They also have a Japanese connection. Denso of Japan, they have got stakes in Trikal. Actually, one thing that I would like to emphasize is from the beginning, the Trikal Union has been branded as a Maoist union, extremist union. These people are bloodthirsty. They are cold-blooded. They perpetrate all types of violence. This was the propaganda let loose from the beginning. The union was started in 2007 March. July 2007 there was an offensive. Here in Maruti, in the case of bouncers, there some Gunda elements were brought into the factory to attack the workers. Workers retaliated. People went to jail. People were dismissed. And then in 2008, from the beginning, there was politicization of the workers. Social role of the union was thought to be enhanced. The union was, there were attempts to democratize the union. These workers, when they were on struggle, they wore Bhagat Singh badges, male and female workers. They went into the factory. Bal Gangadhar Tilak is incarcerated by the British. The 100th year, these workers, they celebrated it. That type of an attitude, that type of culture, it was there. Therefore, they decided, August 20, 2008 strike, All India strike, come what may, it will be implemented in Trikal. What happened was, there was large-scale dismissal of workers. Partial lockout for 174 workers. What they did was, immediately they laid siege to all the gates of Trikal. Hundreds of motorcycles. They were put at different entry points, exit points of Trikal. And ultimately, the management could not withstand the pressure. Then, 2009, September 21st, one Human Resources Department Vice President who was thought to be a strike breaker by the workers. He died inside the factory. What I would like to emphasize is Trikal workers, till date, they were never defensive, they were never apologetic. I think this is very important. See, an ideological climate that is there. You become defensive, you become apologetic. See, they are the perpetrators of violence. The state itself, it is an organized machinery for perpetrating violence. They have been perpetrating violence all along. And now, one incident happens. They come and say, violence, violence, the bogey of Maoism. We should not follow pride. We should not follow victim with this. This is where we have to be careful. Worker movement, worker struggles, we should never become defensive. We should never become apologetic. I don't mean to say that you have to fail. That is something different. You will have to have some tactics. You will have to face criminal cases, you will have to face domestic inquiries, you will have to face labor court cases. Therefore, you will have to be tactical. That is something different. Being tactical, it is not equivalent to being defensive or apologetic. Here we have to draw a line. I think Trikal workers have drawn a line there. See, during Trikal struggle, some strategies, I think some details, they are very important. 302 cases, they were against women workers also. 3 women workers, they were subjected to 302 cases. 8 people, actually they were in jail for 116 days. Somewhat the situation is different in Tamil Nadu. It's not like in North India. Even in T-Nadu case, workers are able to come out on bail in 160 days. They are able to make it. That sort of a position we are facing. 116 days, 8 people are there. 4 people were there for 100 days. 10 people were there for 85 days. Women workers, they have been in jail for 8 days. There were 15 criminal cases. So 4 of them have ended in acquittal. Salary reductions, dismissals, suspensions, and people facing second job accommodation. There are some 250 cases. Some 740 ancillary unit workers they were dismissed. In spite of all these odds, the workers, they took their struggle to different levels. It was their political initiative, their attempt to break out of the encirclement. It echoed in the assembly, Tamil Nadu assembly thrice. The government was forced to, because of social support, because of the surrounding area people's support, because of the movement which questioned the policies of the government at the political level, they were forced to make some 6 or 7 GOs under the Industrial Disputes Act, some 3 references. There is a special provision called Section 10B in Tamil Nadu. State government can impose conditions on employers and employees. For the first time in Trikal struggle, twice this Section 10B was invoked. There is a debate in the assembly. Our party did not have a single MLA in the assembly. But through the struggles in the state, since it was raised to a political level, it became a matter of controversy in the assembly and they had to come out with GOs and prohibition of the continuance of lockout. That was also a GO issued by the government. They were able to withstand, and now somehow the management, actually it was a battle of attrition for 5 years it went on. Workers had complete control over production. This is very important. From 2007 onward, they did not give one component more. The management realized through force, through police cases, through victimization, through dismissal, we cannot subjugate these people. We will not get a single extra component from these people. Therefore, ultimately, in this war of attrition, I can't say that the workers are on a complete victory. There is a compromise. Ultimately, in trade union, you have to make compromises. You cannot throw out all compromises. Some compromises made at some stage. The management, it had to beat a retreat. And it said, we will recognize the union. Now they have gone one step forward. They have also signed a settlement with the union. In the very same union whom they called Maoists, whom they said left extremists, whom they said killers, and the management was supported by the police, and the management was supported by all political parties. In spite of all odds, because the workers had some social support, surrounding area people, they were the workers. The workers reached out to them. Whenever they had problems, the workers were with them. Other parties, they are holding positions of power in the surrounding area. But in spite of it, the working people, the toiling masses, they rallied behind these workers. And these workers reached out to them. This is one important factor which was a contributory factor for their success. I will say that time and again those workers, they know that the oppression that they face is not something unique or singular for them. They try to get an all India picture. We have got Armed Forces Special Provisions Act. We have got Operation Agreement. And now in Marathi they say industrial terrorism, production at gunpoint. Things are come to this pass. This is very logical. I will only say by the way the country has been going, the path of development that the rulers have chosen, it has led us naturally to this. Marx, some 150 years back, he said something which is very relevant even today. He said, the nectar of progress is drunk from the skulls of the slaves. That is what is taking place. Maximization of profits. This is globalization. Ultimately, it boils down to this. What is LPG? Liberalization, privatization, globalization, maximization of profits. They are trying to do it through different ways. One is Colgate, Spectrum, loot, plunder of natural resources. This way, even without a single unit of production, they are able to gain. Then the state's exchequer, they are preferential, they get preferential subsidies as preferential taxpayers. Every year some 5 lakhs crores are written off. The other way is extraction of surplus there. Actually, Maruti workers and other automobile workers in this national capital zone. See, this is, if you compare it, you can easily see that scenes out of modern times, Charlie Chaplin. What? You are part of the machine. You are an appendage of the machine. You don't operate the machines. The machines, they will say what you have to do. That is what is taking place. And then 3 rounds of security. In criminal law, you have got rigorous imprisonment, you have got simple imprisonment. This is rigorous imprisonment that is taking place. Actually, Maruti, it is a challenge to democracy. It will have to be viewed in that context. It is not a struggle of Maruti workers alone. Maruti workers, they represent the new phase of industrial workers in India. Maruti struggle, it represents the new days of India's trade union struggle. This will have to be borne in mind. What I would like to say is, by way of general observation, actually, the Indian working class is losing control over production. Ultimately, what is collective bargaining? What is trade union struggle? See, I have got control over production. I will control production. Will it come to the table or not? Will the settlement demands or not? Unless you have power over production, everything is lost. The permanent workforce, the trade union, the regular type of trade union functioning, what is happening? We represent the permanent workforce. But the permanent workforce, they do not control the production. Ancillary units, subcontracted units, contract workers, apprentices, trainees, the permanent temporaries, they only control production. That way, unionization has not taken place. Actually, class struggle will have to be extended. The arena of class struggle will have to be extended. More and more people are outside the pale of trade union movement. We have to do something serious about it. The social roles of trade union, that will have to be enhanced. Mere trade unionism will not do. Economism will hurt. It will definitely push you back. It will not carry you forward. Things have come to such a pass. Therefore, working class struggle will have to assume a political dimension. It will have to be raised to the political level. I think some 3 points can be broadly considered. One is they are bringing in various legislations. Now 1926 legislation is Trade Unions Act. This Trade Unions Act was brought by the British, our colonial masters at that time. Now this Trade Union Act, it doesn't have an amendment. I mean, it doesn't have a clause for recognition. Now in India, this is a concurrent list subject. Labour is a concurrent list subject. Union government as well as state governments can amend the law. West Bengal, Kerala, somehow they have done it. I don't know how they did it, but somehow they have done it. They have got provisions for compulsory recognition of trade unions if they command majority and that through secret ballot. People proclaim from the housetops about democracy. In Parliament, this should be made a question. There is going to be an all-India strike by central trade unions in February next year. One of the most important demands would be there should be a legislation for this. Actually, 21st century technology, 19th century level capital level. It's high time we will have to raise our struggle to the political level. This is one point. The second point is minimum wages. Minimum wages, ultimately the whole thing boils down to that. Employment of apprentices, employment of casuals, contract labor. Minimum wages of 15,000. That should be another demand. Then the third thing is this, we have got some strange fictions in our country. Directive principles, fundamental rights. What is the effect of directive principles? What is the effect of fundamental rights? Anyway, we still live in a constitutional republic. We are told that we have to take it. That way, this equal work, equal pay. It is only a directive principle. It will be made a fundamental right. And then, in Contract Labor Abolition and Regulation Act, this act was brought into existence in 1970. But somehow what it has done is perpetuating contract labor and proliferating contract labor throughout the country. That is what it has achieved. That again, in the form of a rule, in the form of a central rule, in the form of state rules, you have got a provision. Equal work, equal pay. Same or similar work, same or similar pay and working conditions. But it is not there as a provision in the act. It should be raised to this level. Ultimately, what I would like to say is, now the trade union movement, it cannot be run on old lines. Definitely, you have to do some restructuring. Capitalism, it has done the restructuring. The trade union movement, the working class movement, it will have to do some restructuring. So, the working class movement, trade union movement, more and more of political consciousness that should be injected, and more of tiny people, they will be brought into the movement. With these words,